So welcome to this week's Optimum Health Clinic Facebook Live. And I've missed a few weeks. I was a little bit premature in my excitement. So the last Facebook Live, I was going to do one the next day, launching the Fatigue Super Conference. And I then got sucked into a load more kind of project management pieces, but our newsletter went out anyway. And we had loads of people sign up from Optimum Health Clinic. So I just kind of assumed that people knew it was happening. But I thought now would be an ideal moment to record this session because I've literally just finished recording the final interview for the Fatigue Super Conference. So these interviews are all being pre-recorded. Then you'll have access. We'll talk about in a minute as part of the conference. This has been a big project, an enormous amount of work. So let's call this the official Facebook Live announcement of the Fatigue Super Conference. But I think at the point of doing this session, I think people already know what it is. But Fatigue Super Conference, I think it's probably the largest ever online conference specifically dedicated to fatigue-related conditions. That's ME, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, Lyme disease, adrenal fatigue, and other conditions that are related to that. And really what we've done is brought together the people that we believe have the most important voices in this area. Some of these are people which we've worked with in different ways. Some of these are people that we have been very inspired by their work. Some of it's people that I've kind of sought out because I was curious to interview them and have dialogue with them. Not everyone shares the same opinions. There's lots of shared ideas and core principles which you'll discover through the conference. But there's also some differences of perspectives and opinions. And if you know anything about the Optimum Health Clinic, you'll understand that we believe that there is no one single answer. Recovery is like a jigsaw. That's why our logo is a jigsaw. And there are different pieces for everyone. And so what seemed more important for me than providing a perfectly cohesive representation of the Optimum Health Clinic perspective was to bring together lots of different perspectives to allow people to make up their own minds from that. So we have over 40, I think it's 41 of the world's leading experts on fatigue. We have, in addition to that, so most online summits will do 25, 30 sessions and that's it. Some of you may know I have a hopefully well-balanced achiever pattern, but I like to push boundaries and I like to take things to the next level. And so we also have, in addition to those feature interviews, we have a bunch of new recovery stories. So for each of the 8 days of the conference, we have a new recovery story. Some of those are people actually that we have done before because it's mainly the practitioner team here at the Optimum Health Clinic. But what we've done is taken specific themes within those stories. So we've looked at things like helper pattern, achiever pattern, the role of creativity, and we've used recovery stories to really tell that narrative and to make those points. I think the thing which is probably the most groundbreaking that we're doing in this conference is we also have daily case studies. This is where we have real life cases broken down by the practitioner team of what they did with the patient, why they did it. We're literally showing test results, how we interpreted test results, what programs we put people on, the impact of those programs. I've never seen that done before in this way. And we have both psychology and nutrition practitioners giving perspective on that. So personally, that's the thing I'm probably the most excited about with the content of the conference. We also have a daily meditation session and a daily yoga session. The other thing we have is something that we've been asked for years that I'm really happy we finally put together, which is some sessions for carers. So if you're caring for someone with fatigue, how to understand what's going on for them, how best to support them, some of the challenges and struggles that they may be experiencing. The format of the conference is each day, that day's content is available for 24 hours. And it's not live streamed, so you can click and stop and pause and watch the videos you want to in the order you want to watch them. So you've got flexibility in how you do that. The amount of time a day, I think, ranges from about 5 to probably up to about 10 hours a day. If you want to just join the conference in real time, you can do that. There'll be Facebook comments, so you can share your thoughts and your experiences. I think for a lot of people, it's going to be too much to be able to consume all of that content in the week, in which case you can also buy access to the recordings. We can even send you a flash drive, like a USB stick with everything on there. You can get printed transcripts. Particularly, we're trying to tell Optimal Health Clinic people there's a 40% discount on the online access, but from now until when the conference starts. I think it ends on Sunday night. So for about $60, I guess it's about £45, you get access to everything in the conference. I think there's about 60 hours of completely new, brand new content, like literally recorded specifically for this conference. Personally, I think it's probably the best project that I've done in many, many years. I think it's up there with the original Launch Your Secrets to Recovery. I mean, it's far more sophisticated than that was, but the original Secrets to Recovery was quite, I think, an achievement for its day. It's kind of 12 years ago now. But I feel the same level of pride about this that I did then. I think it's the dog's nuts, to put it politely. And I really hope that people are gonna get from it what I hope. These interviews, you know, I can't really show you my bookshelf, but I think I read about 50 books in preparation for this conference, or at least skim read some and fully read others. That was a fascinating process, but I hope to make your journey through this knowledge much easier by the fact that it's being condensed and broken down. In terms of how to get the most out of it, there'll be, you know, you might in time want to, you know, if you get the recordings, you can go through the whole thing as slowly as you want to. You could go through one session a week over a year or something, but particularly pay attention to the case studies and I think the recovery stories. Pick and choose are the feature interviews. There are some amazing interviews in here, like really absolute cutting edge information. And most of them are pretty easy to track and follow through. Some of them do get quite scientific in some places, but I did my best to try and keep the interviews on track in a way which would be relatively accessible. Some are super accessible, some are a bit more challenging and complicated. But there's something for everyone. And if you're a practitioner that wants to understand how we work here at the Optimal Health Clinic, amazing way to get insight into that. If you are suffering from a fatigue-related condition, then I think this is genuinely the best collection of information that's ever been created. And I say that, realizing that sounds arrogant, but saying it with absolute sincerity. So yeah, that's kind of it really. It starts on Monday, 10th of June, runs for 8 days. And there will be, I'll try and do some regular Facebook lives through the conference. We set up a separate social media account for the conference, so we didn't drown the main Optimal Health Clinic Facebook page. So you'll see we've been resharing content from that onto the OHC page. So go and like that page post-conference. I'm going to use that to do some kind of regular updates on stuff as well. It's also the conference on the conference website is linked to my Instagram account. I think it's like my 4th or 5th attempt to start using Instagram. I have been posting a little bit. It's kind of a personal Instagram page, but where I'm also posting conference stuff. So feel free to kind of follow me on there as well. And yeah, we just basically love you guys. I'm just trying to see if I can find the comments whilst I'm talking. But yeah, I really hope people love this. It's been 6 months of pretty much full-time work putting it together. Let me just see if I can see any comments. Kimberly says, my doctor, Dr. Neil Nathan, is on it. He's amazing. Kimberly, Neil Nathan was one of my favorite interviews of the conference. I think it was the second interview that I did. So I was also really kind of new at the kind of conference interviewing. I think the guy's a genius. I cannot recommend him highly enough. That's a fantastic interview. Any recovery stories based purely on nutrition? Christine, not recovery stories, because it's really hard to do nutrition recovery stories and expect the recovery to cover the nutrition from a scientific point of view. But 5 case studies in depth. So sharing test results, sharing what we did, sharing what worked, what didn't work, with the practitioner team. I think they're awesome, and I think you'll hopefully really enjoy those. So yeah, I'll stop rambling on. Please do sign up. I don't think I said this yet. It is completely free to join the Fatigue Super Conference for that 8 days. So you will have access to a different day's content each 24 hours. That day's content will go live at 8 a.m. UK time. That's midnight at the start of the day, West Coast US, 3 a.m. East Coast. And yeah, it's completely free to join live. If you want to buy the recordings in pounds, it's like £45 at the moment for access to the whole thing. You also get a bunch of extra stuff thrown in as well. Please spread the word. We haven't had as much time as I would have liked to have done to kind of try and spread the word through Facebook groups. If you have a Facebook group, which is people that are affected by chronic fatigue, ME, Lyme, whatever, we also have some great Lyme experts, it's worth saying as well. Then please do post about the conference. I'd really appreciate it. We have had a really good reach. We've got a lot of people signed up to join the conference for free, but I'd love help spreading the word. So please, if you know anyone that may be interested, forward it to them. As I say, the sessions for carers. So if you want your friends and family to understand more about your experience, I highly recommend you get them to sign up. The sessions for carers are on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's one session each day. I deliberately put those at the weekend to make them a bit more available for people. And obviously, if you buy the recordings, you have ongoing access. So yeah, next week's going to be an exciting week. Finally, share what's out there. And actually, also, if you register now, you will get access to 2 of the talks immediately. One with Nikki Gratrix, who co-founded the Optimum Health Clinic. First time we've publicly collaborated in a decade. Her interview she absolutely rocks it. It's awesome. And Dr. Sarah Myhill, one of my personal heroes here in the UK. She did an excellent interview around mitochondrial function. So yeah, just check it out, get signed up. You've got nothing to lose and a lot to gain. This is going to be awesome. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye for now.